Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Press the Action Button podcast here on digital-delirium.com. As always, I am your host, Joystick. With me, coming back for the first time in quite some time, everybody, welcome back, Glitch. Say hello to the people, Glitch.
Hi there, I'm glad to be back alive again after being resurrected by the Necronomicon. So,
from the pit.
Hello there.
Back from the pit.
Yeah.
The Mad Arab, huh?
Oh, yeah.
The what now?
The Mad Arab.
The Mad Arab?
I forget how to pronounce his name, but in Lovecraftian lore, the Necronomicon was written by a guy called the Mad Arab.
Not the crazy Mexican.
Nope, the Mad Arab.
Man, I want that would be like a Mextronomicon. You see what I did there? That was terrible. Anyway.
What would that be like, having the dead take siestas?
It would be the opposite. Because they're... What?
I don't know.
Really
okay, having the dead rise and have fiestas.
Fiestas, okay.
There we go. Okay, you just heard him say hello to the people getting face.
Hi, people. I'm here drinking cocaine. Still, I have like 3 days until I can start drinking again.
You will be drinking on next week's podcast.
Yes. Unless something retarded happens, like I get my liver stolen.
Wake up in a seedy motel bathroom full of ice.
Like, God damn it, not again.
Wait a
I've
second.
had my appendix stolen 5 times this week.
Ooh, this is
Damn it! Last but not least, brand new to the podcast, say hello to the people, Kyle.
What's up, people?
Sorry, it took almost 2 minutes to introduce you there.
This is typical.
This is typical.
Yeah.
We do. We usually spend about 10 minutes beating around the bush before we actually get to the topics. I doubt this. I'm really looking forward to finishing editing this upcoming podcast for last week, which will be up by the time that this is up, I guess. Because it was one of my favorites in a long time. It was actually really, really funny. We had a boatload of people on, and...
Oh, and Radio Schaefer didn't yell "daw" at all.
No.
We should have gotten him to do that, but I completely
Well, he only
forgot.
yelled "daw" on the one episode.
We were being communists.
Yeah, where it was like Al Pacino. It was called like Al Pacino and communism or something like that.
Why did we pick Al Pacino?
I don't know. We brought Al Pacino up for something. Why do we do anything on this
Al
podcast?
Pacino is M. Bison.
Jesus, what did I miss while I was gone?
Last week's episode we were talking about a potential Need for Speed movie.
And then we started making up
the most absurd ideas ever for Need for Speed.
We just
movie.
started putting like people.
Mike
from other
Myers
games into
as Wayne being chased by Frank Drebin.
We're throwing like
And Need for
World
Speed Hot
references
Pursuit.
and like freaking Terminator references and like
Metal Gear references.
Metal Gear references. And then
Instead of
Queen Latifah
Otacon, he
for
was
some
named
reason.
Autobahn because it's a movie about cars. It was a lot of
started
fun.
being really ridiculous. It's because I was doing the Joe. What's that guy's name who died?
Paterno?
No, the guy that does the movie trailer
Too
voices.
soon?
I know is
Nah. Well, he's not dead, so I can't say too soon. But,
Yeah.
Joe. Something. It's an Italian name. The guy, the movie announcer voice.
yeah. I know
guy.
who you're talking about. And I'm trying to remember.
I was doing the movie trailer voice.
You know the guy who did every movie trailer on the face of the planet, and he always started off with "In a World." That guy. Yeah, him.
He was on a Geico commercial. I'm pretty sure his name was Joe something, and I can't think of what it is. It's something Italian.
I know
Anyway.
that Pablo Francisco makes fun of
Yeah, little tortilla.
little tortilla.
They're trying to take my tortillas.
Got in the job.
I'm gonna look him up, and
I'm just googling movie trailer guy.
Don LaFontaine.
Don LaFont. Okay, so that's Don instead of Joe, and it's French. So
Yeah.
I screwed that up.
You were way off base there, man.
I had the one syllable and then something foreign thing going on.
Yeah, but seriously though, Don LaFontaine had a badass fucking voice. Nobody can deny that. And movie trailers will never be the same since he's gone.
Sadly.
Yeah.
You freaking replaced him with, Gilbert Godfrey.
He could make... What wasn't...
Or Zach
wasn't he talking...
Braff.
I'm just imagining Iago doing all future movie trailers. And then the thought is fucking horrifying.
Like, you see one trailer where he's doing, in the future, where all mankind... And then, like, you get done with that, it moves on to the next preview, and it's the exact same voice.
In a world
dominated by washing machines!
Oh, that would be horrible and funny at the same. It would get old real fucking fast. But I would like to see him do just one or two movie trailers every now and then because it would be funny.
Back to back. It's got to be back to back.
It would be funny. But like Terminator 5 coming out. In the future, where Terminators are taking over the Earth!
They thought they did away with the guy!
Then one man showed up, and he led the resistance!
It was so funny, this one time when I was a little kid, we were watching Are You Afraid of the Dark, and it was the episode with the radio station for
Best
the dead.
show ever.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Well, it was up there. It was definitely one of them.
Yeah, one of the best.
It was the episode where with the radio station for the dead, and Gilbert Gottfried was in it, and it cut from him laughing to a commercial break, and the first commercial that played was a Frosted Cheerios with him in it. So I was like, commercial break, Frosted Cheerios! We lost it.
Oh. Well, we forgot to announce we forgot to announce what we're drinking. And just because I know you're new to this, we always like bring it up to the mic and crack the beers. Try to do that at the exact same time. After I announce, you already cracked it.
No, my bad.
Then him and I will do
I'll
that.
get you another one.
Well, if you could just crack that and we'll pretend that it's a beer.
I already opened. We're all drinking blue things, though.
Yeah.
Technically,
that's
that'd be purple. The purple has blue in it.
The
tab is blue.
Yeah, I was going to say the pull tab is blue. We are drinking Labatt Blue, lady, once again this week because we have some left over from last week. Everybody crack. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, Jesus!
Oh, man.
You're getting it all over the place.
And I have 1 week left in my beer fast, so I am just drinking plain old cocaine.
Cocaine!
I gave up to Rule of Kingdom to have beer spilled all over me.
She don't lie, she
Wait, what's
don't
that
lie, she don't lie.
That sounds familiar.
Cocaine.
I just came from the freaking Death World, and I ruled it, so...
Ah!
Yeah, just... I gave it up to come back here, and I come back. You guys are spilling beer all over my shirt.
Horse, a kingdom for my horse.
Hey, beer was in your hand when it was spilled on your shirt, so this is all on you, buddy.
Technically.
Yeah.
I think by the end of this, I should get a different podcast name.
It's all good.
Something other than Kyle?
Yeah.
Well,
Dude.
Was there anybody else who... we didn't have a name for Andrew the first time he appeared, and I just made one up on the spot.
We keep changing it on him.
Yeah, it's because we never let him choose. We're just like, Drew Bag.
What? I didn't get to choose my name. Well, you could have. You just didn't think to.
We just chose for you.
Then Jason, it was Towel. I didn't even give him a choice. I was like, with us today is Towel. And he's like, well, I guess I'm Towel.
Yeah, we didn't give Jason a choice either. We're just Towel. That's it. Towel. We're not going to go into why he's named Towel because we don't want to get racist on here.
Oh, like we haven't before?
I've deleted a lot of the racism, just so you know, because...
Ooh, are you going to delete that too? Cover up the cover-up?
I'm being racist towards Jason in specific.
So
Who cares?
you're being Jacist?
I'm racist with Jason all the time and nobody listens. Actually, that is true. We sit there and swap like racist insults at each other for like an hour straight, and then we plot. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking. It's probably best that I just stop talking.
Who cares? Our one viewer probably doesn't know what color we all are anyway.
Higmo?
Higmo, yeah.
Yeah. Our one listener. We have one listener. Higmo eternally listens to the podcast. That's all he does all day is eat fish heads and listen to the podcast and then sleep. He just listens to one podcast
I can
for 24
assure
hours
you,
straight.
it is blaringly obvious to anybody who listens to this podcast that we're all about as White as a plate of biscuits at the GOP convention.
We could all be Urkels, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not like...
You got any cheese?
Did I do that?
If you hadn't said that, I was going to. You guys want to get to the topics?
Sure.
Okay, Sony announced last night that they are going to make a PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale game, which
Why
is
did Jaleel White never do the Carl?
I don't know, but he should have.
Yeah. Just seems like it should have been obligatory.
Not unusual to be loved by anyone. The Carlton. He didn't even know what it was the first time I mentioned the
I
Carlton.
never really watched Fresh
See,
Prince. Like maybe
you were like, yeah, fucking the Carlton.
a couple times. But
It's a good show. It was a really good show. Okay, Sony announced a PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, and what this is a Smash Brothers style mashup fighter containing all Sony characters. It's coming to the PlayStation 3. Confirmed characters at this point are Sweet Tooth, Parappa the Rapper, Colonel Raddick from Killzone, Kratos, and Sly Cooper. Now, I actually think this is kind of a cool idea. We've talked about this potentially happening before because it's been rumored, and now it's actually confirmed that it is going to happen, and a whole lot of people are pissed off and like, oh, screw you, Nintendo already did that. But why does Nintendo have to be the only one that does that?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Sony's got enough characters under their belt that they can do it, so why not?
They
What about
should.
Sackboy?
Well, I
Yeah.
imagine Sackboy will be in it. I imagine Nathan Drake will be in it. Ratchet, Clank, Jack, Daxter, and a whole slew of the Sly Cooper characters. There's a bunch of them. Probably Cole McGrath, quite possibly Solid Snake, and maybe various other characters from that series. They have a lot of characters to pick from.
But I'm also thinking, if Nintendo can do like with Sonic in their game, why can't they put Sonic in Sony's game? Since it is a third developer company now, third-party developer company. So
That would be
I think
cool
maybe
to
it's
see
just
Sonic
things that
in
are
it.
Sony exclusives or something. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if it's Sony exclusive characters or not, but it would be cool to see Sonic in it.
Yeah.
I hope it's not exclusive to characters exclusive to
he's-
Sony, because that would exclude Solid Snake, who's been a long-time staple of Sony and their franchises and their games since about 1998 when they did Metal Gear Solid, one of my all-time favorites.
How about Greg Jennings? I have that loaded in the other room. I gotta show that to you though.
Yeah, pretty funny stuff.
Yeah.
I love the Greg Jennings.
Funny stuff.
You brought it up numerous times on this podcast, I'm sure. Well, and do you have any specific characters that you would like to see in this?
to be honest, I don't own a PlayStation 3, so I don't really care.
Rayman.
That might be interesting. I don't know if they could lock up the rights to Rayman. They'd have to talk to Ubisoft about that, but it'd be cool.
Ubisoft.
What about any Ninja Gaiden or Final Fantasy games?
Final Fantasy characters might be a possibility. I don't know about Ninja Gaiden because the new Ninja Gaiden series originally started off as exclusives to the Xbox 360.
Oh, really?
It's no longer exclusive. Ninja Gaiden 3 got a simultaneous release on both systems.
Right.
A little off topic, I tried Ninja Gaiden. Fucking terrible.
So I keep
Man.
hearing.
It's actually playable. You can't do that with a Ninja Gaiden game.
Oh, so they went soft.
They went soft.
Oh man.
So it's not insanely difficult.
Right, it's
So
not
it's
impossibly
not Ninja Gaiden.
difficult.
Bummer.
You can actually fucking beat it without having more than 3 controllers broken.
Oh man, I got to like
Oh.
World 7 on Ninja Gaiden 2 for the NES.
Oh,
Took me a day and a half.
That's a series
Year and
that
a
has
half.
never
A day
been
and a
easy.
half.
Oh, a day and a half. I thought you said a
Like,
year and a half.
okay.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there's a series that has never been easy, but it would be cool to see Ryu Hayabusa in this game.
Right.
Your mom Hayabusa.
Your mom. Your mother.
Your mom hide a caboose.
My mom did
Hide a
what with
caboose.
Caboose?
I don't know what
Was
it is.
packing in the back.
My name is Michael J. Caboose, and I hate babies.
Yeah.
Awkward silence.
Yeah, that guy.
I love Red vs. Blue. I really do.
Oh, I love that show. Too.
I'm not a-
I haven't seen that in so long.
Well, they're working on a season 10 now, and
Season 10?
Yeah, season 10.
I stopped watching season 2.
Well, they're up to
And I was...
no, get this. Elijah Wood is going to be in season 10.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know you made it big when you get Elijah Wood on your face.
Yeah.
A gay robot.
As a gay robot.
No.
Wouldn't
That
be
would be
anything
the best
new.
thing
Wouldn't be
ever.
anything new.
Yeah.
I don't know. Elijah Wood, he's in a show with a fucking talking dog, though, so.
Talking.
What show's that?
I'm not sure what you're talking
That sounds familiar. Where does that sound familiar from?
It's this guy, it's Elijah Wood. I think it's on FX.
Is that show Andrew was telling us about?
The guy in the dog costume?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that called?
Oh, it's like he can talk to the dog.
Yeah, like everyone else is a regular dog, but to
Right.
him, it's a guy in a dog costume, and
Yeah.
you can talk to it, and he's apparently
They're
drunk all the time.
Yeah, they're just like Bachelor to the max. Just the name of that show. It's like something
Alfred or
something
Will-
English sounding.
I
I think it was
It was like
Alfred.
Wilford or something. wasn't it?
Wilford.
Yeah.
That was a random guess. I honestly didn't know. How do you know? What do you know? Anyway, I would really like to see Jack and Daxter in this because I'm a huge fan of them. Ratchet and Clank will almost certainly be in this. I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple characters from the Resistance franchise, which I'm also a really, really big fan of. And then Sly Cooper characters, obviously, you already know that will be in there. I was kind of surprised at Colonel Raddick from Killzone because as I remember, Colonel Raddick was on the Killzone PlayStation Portable game. So that's kind of getting into the more obscure Killzone stuff there. The ones that a lot less people play. And it was a good game.
Well, it's kind of like how in the original Super Smash Bros. You had Captain Falcon, but you never actually saw Captain Falcon in the original Super Nintendo game. Instead, you just saw
Or
him. You just saw the
F-Zero
ship.
X. You just see like a still shot of him.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, wasn't-
made up that character more than the F-Zero games ever did on the Smash Brothers.
Wasn't there some kind of animated thing with him in it? Captain Falcon?
Not
Oh
that
yeah,
I know.
yeah, there
Wasn't
was.
it? Oh, was
there?
there?
Was. It was made by. It was
Well, that
brought
makes
over here
more
by
sense.
4 kids though. So
Go figure.
it
Probably
was.
sucks.
Oh yeah.
Falcon Punch!
I can't hear the words Falcon Punch anymore without imagining
Punch
Captain
roll with the
or
Falcon.
Commander Shepard punching the reporter in the face. This is like
Oh,
that is the best 3 seconds of Mass Effect 1 is when he punched that
Tired of
reporter
your
in your
snide accusations.
Oh my god, I saw that and I laughed so fucking hard. And someone just put it was like the most popular version of it on YouTube was someone mashed that up with the words Falcon Punch.
I am a man!
It'll never fucking happen, but I'd like to see like Rex or Garrus appear in this game. That'd be pretty cool. Because they're probably my personal favorite characters from the Mass Effect universe. And those... excuse me, there's a wide range of good characters to pick from that universe. Okay, no surprise to anybody, Call of Duty is getting another sequel this year.
Oh man.
It's a sequel to Black Ops. X shocked everybody, but it has officially been confirmed they will show the first details of it at some playoff basketball game. I don't even know what playoff basketball game. I don't follow basketball. I follow baseball and I follow hockey, and that's it.
Stunned silence.
But,
Yeah. Nobody really knows much about basketball anyway, so.
yeah.
That's a ball.
NBA jams.
Who follows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you need anything else besides NBA? I
All
want
I
to get the
learned from
new
basketball,
NBA game.
I learned from Space Jam.
I could not care less about sports, but like basketball is like one of the only spectator sports that I can actually watch and like pay attention to.
Because of NBA Jam, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I still don't, but if I'm at a bar or something, and there's a basketball game on, I'll basically pick the team who's from the coolest city, and just be like, okay, that's my boy. or if one of, unless they have a stupid name, then I'll be like, nope,
The
screw you.
Timberwolves. There we go.
Yeah, that's hardcore. Where are they from?
Where are they from?
I would say Minnesota, but
Yeah, I think that
Wisconsin
sounds
or
right.
something. I don't know.
Sounds very Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I'm going to find out. because I'm on a computer and I can do that.
Googly.
Minnesota.
Oh, okay. Yeah, swirling cars.
Is that what you said?
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Oh.
It doesn't get much cooler than
Why
that.
the hell do I know what
But
team
the-
is from Minnesota?
I don't know.
No life.
New York's a hellhole, Marge. And you know how I feel about hellholes.
It's such a great one.
They actually did a Saturday Night Live skit, like in the 80s, I think, with the mayor of New York at the time.
Oh, Globetrotters right there.
Yeah, and then he was like defending claims that New York is a crime-infested hellhole, defending against that.
Defending.
How do you say New York isn't a crime-infested hellhole, especially at that time? He's like, I was going to call you and ask. Then they kept getting like callers, and people were like, I was going to call you and ask you a question, but while I was on hold, I was shot. And then like the mayor or whatever is like, make sure you call 911. If they don't pick up right away, just stay on the line. Someone will eventually pick up. But it's not a crime-infested hellhole.
That's like Chris Tucker on the head of the state. It's like, in Washington, D.C., the parts where I grew up, you could get shot while you were getting shot. I love that line.
If you ever have the chance, look up on YouTube Cleveland commercial. Basically, it explains, Cleveland's a crap hole, but at least it's not Detroit.
Right? Fucking Detroit.
You could say that about Baghdad.
Apparently,
At least it's not Detroit.
At least it's not Detroit. Especially
there was a meme going around on MySpace back when MySpace was still for like musicians and stuff. Like back in the 2000s. Wow. Where basically bands would like advertise a show that they were playing, and then they'd show a clip of Josh Rivera's band Kajaja Force Tech playing and saying, "Yeah, we suck, but at least we're not these guys."
It sounds like something Andrew would do.
He told me about it. And he's
What
heard
the-
fireworks.
So did I. That was kind of weird. Baseball. And it's Friday. That's why there's
Senators.
fireworks.
The Senators,
Yeah, the Senators. They
The
must.
Senators, too.
Well, yeah, the Harrisburg Senators. They play like right down the road there.
Yeah.
Actually, where I used to live in Pittsburgh, like whenever the Pirates actually scored a home run, Pittsburgh's one of the more famous places to get for fireworks. It's our fucking 4th of July is fucking amazing. From where I lived, you could actually see pretty much up close on Mount Washington the fireworks of the 4th of July event, and it's amazing. And whenever the Pirates score a home run or somebody scores a home run, they do the fireworks every time, and it's really cool to see, especially at night games.
Did you, when you're driving up to Mount Washington to go home or whatever, do you drive up there and go, Washington, 6'10" weighs a fucking ton? Do you do that? Because I fucking would.
Occasionally.
When I had a car, yes, I would.
Yes!
Not the British children. He saves
Children, but not the British children.
children.
He wants to put a friend's wife's hand in a vat of acid at a party.
Killed his master in a duel, and he never
Said why?
Never seen that.
No.
As from it was. Well, what was that? Like a flash show, or was it just on YouTube? I don't remember.
That was around before fucking YouTube.
Oh yeah, it was superdeluxe.com. It was one of those series that was just on the internet. And
Right.
It was like these two college professors. And once in a while, they'd just do like a musical number, something like that.
Something completely absurd and off the wall.
10'10" made of radiation.
Yeah. Because, dude, if I lived up there, that's what I would do. Every single time I'm driving home.
Going up those hills.
Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. So it's been leaked at this point. So when it's announced officially at that NBA game, everybody acts surprised. Okay?
It's called Black Ops 2.
Yeah. So obviously direct sequel to Black Ops, which it'll probably be the same fucking thing as Black Ops, like Modern Warfare 2 and 3 were the same fucking thing as the first Modern Warfare.
Yeah. Okay, so I decided today that at E3 this year, Electronic Arts is going to reveal that they are putting out a console of their own, and it's going to be just in the shape of a fist flipping the middle finger. Like, that's how the tray opens up. You got to put a disc in, and it just flips you off.
It just goes.
Yeah. And this is their response to being voted worst company in America. This is what we think of you for that, America.
This will never be unfunny.
It will never be unfunny. It is hilarious to me. They got voted worst fucking company in America. Okay, Stalker 2 has been canceled. It's a sequel that I was really looking forward to because I played the first Stalker, the Shadow of Chernobyl, and loved it. It's one of my favorite PC shooters of this generation. The studio that was developing it has closed their doors. Obviously, we wish everyone that worked there, the best of luck. Apparently, they're working on an MMO FPS type thing right now. The remnants of it are, I don't know. It sucks because like I said, I really like Stalker. It's has one of the best atmospheres of any video game I have ever played. The sound design was fantastic. I love the open world design in a first person shooter. You don't see it that often. I love the RPG elements that kind of have you played Rage? Either of you played Rage?
No.
Okay, then I guess I can't compare it to Rage.
I saw Rage Quit Rage.
Yeah, Rage Quit Rage, where he didn't rage or quit.
Nice quit.
Have you seen her? Have you seen her? Have you seen her? I don't think they've seen her, guys.
I do love me some Rage Quit.
Still like when he was like storming around the studio after playing Monopoly. You can't do that! I wasn't bankrupt! Are you kidding me? Funny stuff.
Yeah.
That's how I get when I play Monopoly.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to play.
Never lose Monopoly, ever.
He was playing Monopoly Streets, which is like...
Streets.
It was like
Gotta hustle. Hustle for that dollar.
It was probably like, what was that, like Xbox Live or something?
Yeah, probably Xbox Live
and
or something.
It was showing like, the game kept like hurrying him along, but it was like showing in great detail what all the other characters were doing with these pointless little animations and stuff. And then all of a sudden, like, one person went bankrupt, and it was all over, so the person who was ahead won, but he still had money, and like the other guy still had money. So he's like, you can't just do that! You can't just end it when you feel like it! I wasn't bankrupt! That's funny stuff.
Yeah, I love me some Rage Quit.
Actually, the one game that I really want to try because of that game, of the video series,
Catherine?
Happy Wheels.
Yes!
Santa Claus!
On a golf cart! Ah!
It's
Super Meat Boy. Done! Not doing it.
fucking Pikachu! Yeah. Okay, I want to use just got my chopped all as a phrase now.
Just got what?
But chopped. Seriously.
My chopped.
Yeah, that's right, because there was one where there were like Pokemon flying at him from everywhere. Happy Wheels. You just, like, you're on, like, these it's like, isn't that like a Flash game or something?
Man, it is. There's like bombs going off outside or something.
It's Detroit. We're in Detroit now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is what Detroit sounds like constantly.
It's like you have a variety of different vehicles. There's a golf cart, there's a dune buggy, there's like a tricycle or something, and just it looks like these easy little levels, but you just get annihilated by everything. There's like an old guy on a walker, and like his legs blown off, speeding him along.
Daddy,
stuff falling behind.
Daddy, I don't want to burn to death. Shut the fuck up, Billy! I want to get us out of this forest right now! Fucking Father of the Year right there.
I gotta watch that.
The Rage Quit's awesome. Shit. Have either of you played Stalker?
No. You're talking about first-person RPG elements. I'm playing Borderlands right now. Is that kind of similar?
Yeah, it's kind of similar. This is a much more of a horror atmosphere than Borderlands is.
Right.
And you don't gain levels in this game. You just have interchangeable weapons and armor and weapon upgrades and a item management system and places. Like you have a backpack that you can carry a certain number of items in, so you have to pick what guns and what ammo and what weapon upgrades and what armor you want to carry with you at all times and what items and stuff like that. So it all makes it a bit more challenging than a typical first-person shooter where you can carry 10 guns in your magic pocket.
Yeah.
At all times, which I've never had a problem with that because I grew up playing Doom. And you carry 10 guns at one time in Doom.
It's just a given.
We never questioned why or how. We just had 10 guns and it was badass.
The same way they fit so much food into those little Chinese takeout boxes.
Exactly. You got a lot of food.
I figured that out though, because the food is springy. It's like it presses and then it like blooms out when you take the pressure off of it. It's kind of freaky. No, I'm serious.
Weird.
I know, right?
what
it's like
eating?
peanuts.
And it's got like a massive open world that you explore, and you just like be going through a massive field, and there'll be like a junkyard with all these irradiated like old airplanes and decommissioned helicopters and stuff like that.
I think I saw a mime in one of them.
Or you'll run into
a mime,
like some kind of barn that's been falling apart and dilapidated, and there'll be some soldiers fighting some creatures there or stuff like that. All kinds of different interactions in the world, and there's factions you can join and multiple endings and side quests. There's probably 30 to 40 hours of gameplay in the game.
How old is this game?
I want to say 2007, 2008. It's a PC game.
Right.
It never came to consoles, which kind of sucks. They were going to develop it for consoles. Obviously, that's not going to happen now because the studio closed their doors. But it was a really, really good game, and the sound design and atmosphere were just phenomenal. And it had a pretty cool story, too. It's like, at the very beginning of it, you're on this truck that's just transporting dead bodies through the wastelands around Pripyat, where the Chernobyl factory was that blew up in the 80s. And one of the dead bodies managed to fall off of it, and it turns out that guy isn't actually dead. He was just unconscious when they found him.
Not quite dead yet.
Yeah, not quite dead yet. And then you like wake up and you're in the middle of this place, and then you find this one guy, and he kind of gives you some equipment, and as you said, okay, if I'm going to take care of you for this time, I need you to do me a few favors. I need you to do a little bit of work for me. So he sends you on some missions, and
so the story unfolds.
Yeah, the story unfolds from there, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it, and it's more in line with Rage than it is with this, except more horror themed than Rage, because Rage isn't really a horror game. It's just straight up action shooter with RPG elements. And I really liked Rage as well. I might review Rage for the website and show why I liked it so much, because it got decent reviews, but I think it should have gotten better reviews than it did, in my opinion, at least. There's very, very little that I had wrong with the game.
Yeah.
And it's
science.
It sucks to see another developer go under. It seems like we've talked about that a few times recently. We talked recently about Zipper Interactive, who developed the SOCOM series, and more recently MAG on the PlayStation 3. They went under and closed their doors, and we talked about a few other studios as well in financial trouble or going under, and you hate to see this. You hate to see, like, companies folding and stuff like that, probably just because of a bad economy, you know?
Well, it's also probably because, but one of the roommates that I lived with, he actually owned a GameStop at one point, and he did own some of the one GameStop when he lived in New York. And he said that probably one of the biggest problems that he saw was that a lot of people were buying pre-owned games, and because GameStop wouldn't actually give a whole lot of money to the developers for Or
GameStop gives no money to the developers for that.
Exactly. So basically, if you buy a pre-used game at a GameStop or anything, you're not really purchasing it from the developer. You're purchasing it from GameStop.
Usually, if I buy a pre-owned game nowadays, it's a game that I recently bought a pre-owned game. I bought Quake 4 for the Xbox 360, largely because someone stole my copy of Skyrim and I can't play it till I get another copy. And the Quake 4 was $5. And I bought that basically to hold me over until Paul's probably going to buy me another copy of Skyrim in about 2 weeks. I bought that used because it's a 6-year-old game at this point. You pretty much can't buy it new anymore. And they've already made all the money they're going to make off of it. So
well, here, economically speaking, resale value or perceived resale value of something adds to the value of a game, and it makes people more... I mean, theoretically, would make people more willing to buy it if they know that they'll be more able to sell it. So it would enable the manufacturer, the developers, to charge more for it initially, or to just sell more copies if people think that they'll actually be able to sell it at some point in the future.
I know a lot of game developers have this mindset where you have to sell big on day one. If you do not sell big on day one, you're not going to sell big at all.
It's not the movie industry.
And
it's getting more and more similar, but
I don't think that's necessarily true.
But one thing I'm finding is that I really don't buy new games unless I feel like it's worth it. Like Skyrim, I wanted to get it on day one because I felt like it could, it really
is worth it.
Yeah, it's worth the $60 I paid for it because it
I got
so much
lasability. Yeah, prior to my copy of the game being stolen, I had poured 140 hours into it, and I paid $60 to get it brand new, and 140 hours, that's less than 50 cents an hour. So that's good money. That's good money spent on good entertainment. A lot of
140 hours divided by $60, that's like 50 cents
an hour. It's less than 50 cents an hour, because 120 would be 50 cents an hour.
Yeah.
I paid $60 to shoot people in the eye from really far away, hide, wait until they were like, oh, I guess, there's nothing wrong here. They shoot me in the eye.
I do that too, with a bow and arrow. I love it.
I remember playing Thief for PlayStation 2. Anybody remember that game?
I remember that game. I never played
it,
but I remember
did a song on that recently.
I don't remember hearing much about it, but we got it. We rented it. This is back when people still rented things. And didn't play it a whole lot, but I do remember doing one thing, and that's in the very first level. There was a guy with a torch, and I shot him in the face with a water arrow, which put out the torch and just generally ticked him off. Oh! What the hell? We were cracking up. We're like, he's ticked.
The Thief is supposed to have been a lot of fun, and I've never gotten to play this. I've never gotten to play the series, but it's supposed to have awesome stealth portions and be a lot of fun to sneak around and shoot people with arrows and try to stay in the shadows and all that kind of stuff. And I'd like to give it a try sometime.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
You remember whenever I punched that horse and it started chasing us and tried to kill me?
In Skyrim?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
I've done that
just
too.
goes around and just punches horses.
Like an old horse puncher.
I punched the Jarl and he knocked himself back. I was like, oh.
He's like a level 2, level 3 or something. You know a horse is gonna kill you, man.
Well, you know how you make a unicorn in that game?
Did you see Rooster Teeth's video where they're gonna drastically increase the population of unicorns in Skyrim, and they just kept shooting things in the face with arrows? And it was inspired by a video they did in Red Dead Redemption where they're like, I figured out how to make a unicorn in Red Dead Redemption. I have an axe, or I have a tomahawk that is like a horn. I have a horse. I'm going to throw the tomahawk at the horse.
Right in its face.
And then they killed it. And then he's like, you know what? Horses don't fight back. But you know what, dude? bears. Let's make a bear record.
Bear record.
Unibear,
yeah.
Those videos, if you could find those videos on YouTube, Rooster Teeth did them. They are well worth watching. He shot a dragon in the face.
Dragon.
With an arrow. He's just standing there. And he's like, "Whoop!" and runs away. It's awesome.
Like it's nothing. Just practicing his aim.
Yeah. He also shot a frost troll. It was beautiful. It's well worth watching. Okay.
Speaking of shooting things in the head, who wants another beer?
I'll take one more.
I'll take another.
You want?
Okay. Yeah.
I will be right back.
Okay, I'm going to pause it because I'm going to announce the next topic as soon as you get back.
Oh my.
Okay, next topic. We got more beers.
Penis.
It's my car now.
Isn't it?
Okay, Nintendo wants to get into digital distribution with the Wii U, and they want to release their games for the Wii U on disc and digitally at basically the same time. So you can download the games like you can on the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3, which doesn't have quite the market share of just popping in your disc and playing the game right now. But they want to get into it. Now the problem with this is the Wii U, as they announced it last year at E3, does not have a hard drive. It has 20 gig of memory on it, and 2 games will eat that up.
Easy.
So, I don't know what they're thinking, having high-definition video games on this digital download digital distribution on a system without a hard drive. I mean,
maybe they'll have some kind of cutting-edge compression technology, but I doubt that.
You can only hope, otherwise, like I said, 2 games will eat up about 18 gig of that 20, you know?
What if they're basically thinking that only hardcore Nintendo kids will play it? Like, all in the old school. And so they'll have
everything physical.
That, or they're just gonna re-download all their NES and SNES games onto it. So, like, if you have Mega Man, that's pretty much only 1 megabit of memory.
So you're talking smaller games, like the old school games?
Yeah, like having...
Like the Virtual Console?
Yeah, like that kind of thing. Maybe they're trying to do that instead of having, like, these big epic games.
Yeah.
So...
obviously, there's going to be big epic new games on it. Right. The new Darkstalker is going to be on it. No, not Darkstalker. Fuck.
Like
Darksiders?
Yeah, Darksiders. Darksiders 2 is going to be on it, and I'm really looking forward to Darksiders 2 because the first one was awesome. Did you ever play it?
I haven't. No, I don't think so.
You like God of War and Zelda, right?
Zelda, yes. God of War, not so much.
Doesn't like to think.
Well, Zelda's the one where you think. God of War is the one where you hit the X button until
smash you, strip its head open.
Until everything on the screen is dead in horribly violent ways. I love God of War, but it's kind of like a mix of those two. And it's got like the dungeons, the massive dungeons and puzzles and stuff of Zelda. And then it's kind of got the combat of God of War. And it works really, really well.
Wait a minute, so, hold on.
What are we talking about?
If it's God of War mixed with Zelda, does that mean there's a minigame where Link has sex with Zelda if you press 0, circle, or triangle, or X?
There's no sex minigame because there are no humans in the game because it happens after the apocalypse.
So it's Zelda of War?
Basically.
Wait, what is this game we're talking about again?
Darksiders.
Oh, okay. I totally zoned out.
Darksiders 2 is going to be about death, where the first one was about war. It does death, buddy. Get out of my way.
PlayStation, or Death Star, it only does death.
Well, Death Star? Well, what does it do?
Yeah, it's like straightforward and to the point. Death Star. So, hey, what's that star up there? It's the Death Star. What's it do? It does death. It does death, buddy. Get out of the way.
You just want a fucking rail for whenever we have to shoot that thing. I mean, come on. Family Guy.
The only way that I can think of that Nintendo is going to make this work is if it has support for USB external hard drives. Then you might be able to format your hard drive or whatever to be used with this system and download all the games directly to that. And you can get a large external hard drive. I've got a 320 gig one, and that's plenty of space to put a bunch of games on, even at 8 or 9 gig a pop. But unless they're going to redesign the Wii U to actually have a hard drive in it, this just seems like a terrible idea to me.
That's what they probably will do.
I hope so, and I hope they rename it. I don't like the name the Wii U. I don't think anybody likes the name the Wii U. It's kind of confusing.
Wii U!
It's kind of confusing from a consumer standpoint as well, because it's like, the Wii... Is that just another Wii peripheral?
How about the Woo-wee?
Woo-wee!
That sounds like something Toki Wartooth would say.
Wow-wee!
Wow-wee! They should call it the Wow-wee. And just have Toki's face on every box. That would be awesome. You could get a whole bunch of sales just because Toki's face is on the box.
Well, let's also keep in mind though that Nintendo actually just posted their first quarter sales,
and they lost.
This is like their first loss in profits in 30 years.
My boss actually
it's a
mentioned
massive
that.
loss.
He's doesn't know anything about video games because he's like my dad's age, and he's
and
mentioning
it was what, like $500 million?
Yeah.
Dang.
It's a massive loss. It's about the same amount that Sega lost in this last quarter, and Sega lost a big chunk of money too. And I was arguing with the guy. It's like, this one guy's like, "Oh man, Sega has the money to do that." I'm like, did you just see the loss that they just posted? No, they don't, because he wanted Sega to bring a new console, which would be awesome, but it's not going to happen.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have money. It just means they don't have as much.
Yeah, but it
really depends.
If you just lost $500,000, you are not in any good position to put a shitload of money into developing a new console.
500,000?
Or 500 million, sorry.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot.
That is a lot of money, and that's how much both them and Nintendo lost this quarter.
Dang.
Yeah, I think Sony lost a good chunk of money too, and I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft did as well. The economy, with all these companies going broke, appears to be hitting the gaming industry pretty hard right now, finally.
Well, yeah, plus, also, the rise in casual games means all these big companies like Sony and Nintendo means that they're falling to game companies like Zynga and Rovio that make, Angry Birds and
Farmville.
Yeah, Farmville, Draw Something. They're losing a lot of money to these games because, people don't really want to go out and buy the $60 game whenever they can just play the $1 game. They can play it any time.
I'm just waiting for that market to realize, I guess, that it's oversaturated with shoddy ports and clones of games. What's happening to that market now is exactly what was happening to the video game industry in '83 and '84 when it crashed.
Oversaturation.
Yes, oversaturation.
Too much stuff.
A whole bunch of copies of everybody was copying everyone else's game, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the games that are actually being focused on the mainstream are games that seem really innovative. Like, for example, they had Angry Birds and they had Angry Birds Seasons, they had Angry Birds Rio.
But Angry Birds isn't innovative. Anybody that's seen Crush the Castle will tell you that.
And Coco Loco.
Well, Coco Loco came after that, but Crush the Castle came first.
Crush the Castle.
Have you seen Crush the Castle?
I've heard of it, but I haven't been able to try it yet.
And Find the Fish.
Crush the Castle, it's Angry Birds with a more medieval theme.
Oh.
That's what it is. Angry Birds is Crush the Castle with a cuter theme, I should say, because Angry Birds came after Crush the Castle.
Actually brings up a good point, because what I'm thinking is, whenever you talk to someone who isn't really all in that in the game, you're not going to tell them, oh, you know what, get this, I actually went to the water temple in Zelda, and I had to pull this lever, and all. They're not going to be talking like, what the fuck are you talking about? But when you say something like, oh, guess what, I pulled this bird, whenever you're talking about Angry Birds, they're going to be like, oh yeah, that sounds really fun. And it seems like a big more massive appeal because it's a simpler type of game.
You don't have to be there to get what they're referring to.
Exactly. Like kind of like with on the iPhone and iPad, they have a game called Cut the Rope.
I've heard of it. Mark from Classic Gamer.
How do you play that? Well, you cut the rope.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, you don't really have to tell them, oh, you know what, you had to use the sword to swing at this crystal to make this door open. You just have to say, cut the goddamn rope and feed the fucking alien thingy.
Aliens!
Like, what is that, Fruit Ninja?
Yeah.
Cut the fruit?
Cut the goddamn fruit.
Cut the cheese.
Yeah, that's all you do. Cut the fruit and don't cut the bombs.
Ant smasher. Smash the ants.
Smash the goddamn ants.
Yeah.
That kind of sounds like... what was that DS game? Rhythm Heaven. You ever play Rhythm Heaven?
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
Actually, one of my favorites
Harder than
is
it looks,
Scribblenauts.
I have never played Scribblenauts.
Although you can basically break...
on every single game.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can break that game by writing Cthulhu over and over again.
Black hole.
It summons Cthulhu.
Black hole.
It summons Cthulhu. That's what it does. And he just destroys
scary
all.
solstice. Scary solstice. Anyway.
Mankind will learn.
All that jazz.
Okay. Rayman Origins is getting a sequel called Rayman Legends. And this is actually pretty cool because Rayman Origins was supposed to be a really good game. Very high critical acclaim. And it didn't sell that well, which usually means it won't get a sequel. But I like to see Ubisoft going out and doing something different than doing the 15th Raving Rabbids game. Bring Rayman back, because prior to this game we hadn't seen him since Rayman 3 back on like the PlayStation 1, you know?
Yeah, well, I guess Rayman really didn't appeal to kids now. Now it's just about getting the crazy bunnies and
which is
hit
hysterical.
the bunnies with plungers, and that's it.
But Rayman, I've seen a lot of footage of Rayman Origins and videos on it, things like that, and it's very much got a like 90s cartoon slapstick violent humor type thing going on, like you would have seen on 90s Nickelodeon shows like, I don't know, Ren and Stimpy or Beavis and Butthead or something like that. It's got that kind of humor to it, which is fucking awesome. And it's got a beautiful, very cartoon-looking art style to it that I also love as well. And then the music's kind of fun. I can tell you that I really like those things about it, but I haven't played it, so I can't tell you if the gameplay is any good, but it's supposed to be. It looks like if you liked shows like that back in the day, and you like video games, you'll probably like Rayman Origins, is what it looks like. But it's just nice to see them actually doing something different with the Rayman franchise instead of doing Raving Rabbids 15, you know?
Well, I think also the reason why the Raving Rabbids was so popular was because it was a launch title for the Wii, and to be honest, it was probably one of the only party games that you could play the Wii. So that's why, besides Wii Sports, and so I think Ubisoft thought that the reason why it was so popular was because they really like these Raving Rabbids characters, so we're gonna put them in every game and fuck Rayman. But it's just because it was just one of the first Wii party games that they had on the system, and that was it.
It was one of the best launch titles of a launch that, honestly, the launch of the launch title lineup for the Wii wasn't very good. So being one of the best launch titles on a system like that, which it sold great right out of the gate, and was a huge fucking deal. So they kept going with it. And then gamers who remember gaming back in the 90s, basically, were like, wait a minute, what happened to Rayman? He was awesome for like 3 straight games back in the 90s. Did you want to hear something nuts? The original Rayman was originally an exclusive for the Jaguar.
I did not know that.
Yeah! Isn't that weird?
You mean something that was on the Jaguar made it?
Yeah, it made it off of the... Well, it didn't sell well until it was released on the PlayStation.
I just thought it was Super Nintendo original.
No, the Super Nintendo, it was a bit beyond the Super Nintendo's capabilities. It really showed off the level of detail that could be done with the Jaguar with a 2D game. and the coloring, the use of color in that game was awesome. It also had really good sound. So if you want a game that will show off just what the Atari Jaguar could do, that was one of the better options. That and fucking Alien vs. Predator. Not so much Tempest 2000, although that's one of the best games on the system. It's just vector graphics.
Silence!
It's okay, I think we're about done here.
Yeah, I think we're about done. We're at an hour, so you guys want to sign off?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do this.
Okay. This has been another edition of Press the Action Button podcast here on digital-delirium.com. As always, I am your host, Joystick. With me this week, welcome him back, was Glitch. Say goodbye, Glitch.
See you later, guys. I gotta go back to my kingdom now.
I actually really like having you on this podcast because we always have good video game discussion when you're here. And a lot of times when you're not here, we don't.
I'm glad I actually bring intelligence to this show. Thank you.
Much needed intelligence. Because the enemy has stolen our intelligence.
We kick him in the fucking balls then.
The train is increasing in speed.
Like, the very first time I fucking heard that in TF2, I laughed my ass off. We have no intelligence. The enemy has stolen our intelligence. Also with us this week, for the very first time, was Kyle. Say goodbye, Kyle.
Goodbye, Kyle. Take it easy.
Classic.
See Kyle.
See Kyle.
Just have to throw that in there, right there at the end. See Kyle. Last but not least with us this week was Gameface. Say goodbye, Gameface.
I'm gonna go rage quit weekend now.
Okay. We'll talk to you guys next week here on digital-delirium.com. Bye-bye.